Emperor Claudius mentioning Gallio. So when Claudius was an emperor, Gallio was the proconsul here in Corinth. And what we'll see now when we walk down to the area of the theater is actually archaeological proof about in the Greek language erastos, which is actually pronounced erastus in the English language. In the book of Acts, he is sent to Macedonia by Paul with Timothy. In the book of Romans, is identified as the chamberlain or city treasurer. And as we know from the story, he was actually a slave that actually managed to gain a lot of money and became even the city treasurer. And Timothy is mentioned as having remained at Corinth. This suggests that he was probably some high member of the Corinthian church. So we were excavating the area in the American School of Classical Studies that always prefers to have archaeological excavations in places that are also important for biblical archaeology, for obvious reasons. And we found something that is actually archaeological proof of the person with the name Erastos or Erastus in the English language. Please be careful because some areas here are uneven. I want your safety. By the way, for the pastors that will be accompanying group, today we started very early from the ship. We were all punctual so we can make this addition. Sometimes we don't have time for such an addition, especially if the group is slow moving. So it's something that we don't mention in the itinerary. Whenever I can add it, I add it. I also add other things. It always depends on the parameters that I see on the spot. But of course I always try to do my best. First of all, you can see on the right hand side that the excavation is continuing. What we discovered, what you saw today, is 10% of the ancient city of Corinth. A city that would have a population of approximately 200,000 citizens, between 150 to 200,000 citizens. And this you understand because of the size of the theater. The theater would be about 18 to 20,000 seats, smaller than the theater of Ephesus. And the theater is actually there in front of us. Now you will see more or less nothing remaining of it because all the parts of it in the medieval times would be reused, recycled for the construction of medieval period houses. And not only. The only thing that you will see from the theater is the remains of the orchestra with an altar in the middle. So we should imagine this amphitheatrical area having a lot of seats, and actually the seats would be continuing up. But the reason that I brought you here was not only to see the theater, is to see a stone that we discovered over here. This stone was actually standing initially somewhere up high in some governmental building. We don't know where exactly. And it was reused for the area with the paved marble blocks here. In this stone we have a word, a name. E-R-A-S-T-U. Actually it's a V. In the Latin language the U has the shape of the V. S. Erastus. We should imagine this stone somewhere up at the building, and the space that we see, because the letters are carved inside, was actually filled with metal. Bronze, silver, lead, gold, we cannot know. The metal has disappeared. This shows to us that that building was constructed either by money of Erastus, probably he was just managing the money of the city, and of course he placed also his own name as the founder of that building. And it was standing there until some moment the building collapsed, late Roman period, and it was reused for the paved area over here. So this was archaeological proof discovered during the excavations, and imagine the surprise, the happiness of the archaeologists from Cincinnati when they found archaeological proof about a name that they can read in the Bible. Wonderful, right?
Yes.